play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombs Nico gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
All right, welcome everybody. Today, we've got a replay cast coming at you between Roll1 Esports and Arrogant Nephalem. This is the Nexus Gaming Series Season 7, and this game is going to be coming at you from B West. I'll be your host today. My name is Arrow, and as you can see, I've changed things up. I brought in a new doggy companion, and I gave Alpha the opportunity to be the photogenic dog of the week, shall we say. But she's currently passed out right over there. So anyways, this first game here is going to be on, not Dragon Chart, it's going to be on BOE. So let's go ahead and, since I've done all this extra work here, let's take a look at what the map bans were. We won't be able to necessarily see the hero bans or the pick selections, but we will obviously see the teams. So the bans, we've got Arrogant Nephalem banning out Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. Roll1 Esports knocking out Alterac Pass and Volskaya Foundry in our first game, as mentioned. Battlefield of Eternity, and that was selected by Roll1 Esports. So, again, with the replay cast, we don't have a whole lot of waiting around. We don't have to wait for teams. We can just get right into the action. So let's see if we can get that going here. And ultimately, because of the overlay with replay casts not quite aligning, that best of 3 overlaps the XP, I'll probably go ahead and turn off the overlay after we get the teams introduced. Should be easy to remember which team is which, as the blue team, Roll1 Esports, has R1E in their names. So there you go. Hopefully we can all remember that. All right, let's go ahead and start with the blue team. We've got Roll1 Esports on the left. We've got Rock Your W on ETC. Velvet going to be on Anduin. Waniba on Vala. Big Beard on Leoric. And Li Ming is going to be played by Zad. And coming at you from Arrogant Nephalem, we've got Trabe on Sylvanas. Null Pointer on Stukov. Kime on Chen. Mig on Rainer, and Segatai on Garrosh. And that's for Roll1 Esports. So, taking a look at the talents, is the solo laners are the only ones that meet here at the beginning. That's an interesting talent. I have the Tigers, so getting the extra healing on the basic attacks. Trabe taking a load of damage there, though. That throw from Garrosh setting up some damage on both sides, but ultimately Trabe taking the brunt of it. Bold strategy from Anduin. Block party coming out from ETC, which is interesting. We do see Aether Walker for Li Ming. And is it Osirian's renewal or something? Osine? Whatever. Osine's renewal. And then, of course, Monster Hunter for Vala. And there's the throw on to ETC. Gonna be the first kill of the game. Good silence from Null Pointer there, being able to prevent ETC from getting away using a knockback or power slide, and then the throw stun combo, sending him back to the graveyard. Li Ming getting a little bit of damage there onto Mig with that big combo. Trying to follow up there and popping the Adrenal Rush to keep alive. And I do have to say that that level 1 talent for Kime there with the auto attacks and the healing makes a lot of sense into this Leoric. giving him that ability to heal up when he's got the brew on him, offsetting the healing that Leoric himself can do with Spooky Hands. And here we go, 4v4 onto this point. Gonna be a bit of a fight as ETC Rock Your W coming in, trying to knock the team back, but it's gonna be a quick steal as Arrogant Nephalem able to outlast the cow just a little bit there. Oh, we've got chat. Hello, chat. Welcome, everybody. Well, I guess if the stream's dead for you, you won't be able to see it. You won't be able to hear me. So we do have that Merc Queen. Look at these Impalers going to town. All kinds of buffed. And there's another throw onto ETC. He is going to power slide away. Might make it away thanks to that Divine Star from Anduin. Getting really close there. These Garrosh throws have been pretty well on point. And the camp getting obliterated there by a quick orb, arcane orb coming out from Li Ming, as we see both teams moving on to their shaman camp. And right now it looks like Roll1 Esports slightly ahead in the race for that. And we've got Leo and Chen just doing their thing here. The soak slight. Oh, geez. Good night as Anduin gets taken out. And now Sylvanas and Raynor working on the Immortal here as Vala up in the top for Roll1 as well. And keeping in mind that Merc Queen does affect the Immortal, so they do have 2 heroes with talents focused on the burn in both Raynor and Sylvanas, and I guess technically even enemy heroes. Okay, I was going to say Lurking Arm might even do that, but we do see them coming in to defend here. Roll1 Esports. We've got Rock Your W coming in, gets the power slide onto 3, but ultimately it's going to go over to Arrogant Nephalem. And Chen going to come down here and clean up this camp. And we're going to get set up for the Immortal in the top lane. I'm going to try to respond to chat since Rocky World can't actually hear me. Good throw, good leap to pull back the ETC. Browser for... And ETC getting thrown again, and Segatai getting that one last hit with his axe, which is not an axe in this skin, of course. Gorehowl not getting that completion. So first fort of the game going to be going over to Arrogant Nephalem here, and level 7 as well. Taking a look at these talents here. The demon's attack has failed. I don't know. The demon got pretty decent value there getting that fort. I think, Mr. Angelman, that you're perhaps misremembering. And let's check out the bottom. And you know what? I did mention I was going to turn off the game source. So there you go. Oh, no, I guess it doesn't overlay over anything anymore. So never mind. We're good. Quick rotation down from Raynor and Sylvanas. We've got Garrosh coming down as well here shortly. So Raynor's going to check on that bottom bush. Sorry, bottom camp, rather. And now the 4-man from Roll1 coming down, making their way down. But Sylvanas is going to help to get this locked down so they can take down the full wall in preparation for what they would hope to be their next Immortal. And ETC does get the power slide in onto Garrosh. He pops the Indomitable, so he evades that Chastise and walks away from all of the potential danger there. And now they're going to go ahead and get in on this camp between Raynor and Sylvanas. ETC coming by the Garrosh. Garrosh throws him away, sitting at half health. And Li Ming on the other side of that wall, getting a fair bit of damage, but Sylvanas and Raynor are able to turn around, poke, and get her down a bit, pull her back. And Anduin's going to keep Roll1 Esports nice and healthy. as they will now return the favor of the prior camp invade. And checking up here in the top lane, so we do see this time Chen is slightly ahead in this lane push. Level 10 is going to be coming up soon for Arrogant Nephalem. I expect them to finish getting level 10 and then they can come in and work on the Immortal. Although they're going to go ahead and come in. There it is. And now the power slide in. Indomitable used. But again, they do have their ultimates here. We've got the Storm Earth and Fire, Rainer's Raider, Warlord's Challenge, Flailing Swipe, and Wailing Arrow. And here they go. Now they're going to get started on the Immortal, and they do have pretty decent Immortal burn as compared to the Li Ming and Vala. Let's take a look at that build. So we do see the Arcane Missiles build coming out for Li Ming, so she's getting the extra damage when she hits a single target with all 3 of her missiles. So couple that with the Aetherwalker at level 1, and she's getting a pretty significant boost on those missiles. And no level 10s just yet for Roll1 Esports, so this is a little aggressive for them to come in and try to defend this. And there's the taunt on ETC, but Garrosh gets stunned there by the Immortal. They do ultimately get the Immortal, so... And no deaths. 3 kills so far for Arrogant Nephalem. And now with this prep, this Immortal's going to go straight into this fort. As far as the ultimates on the other side, we've got the Mosh Pit, Light Bomb, Rain of Vengeance, Entomb, and Wave of Force. Speaking of Wave of Force, popping that Panda out of his brew fest there. And here we see Leoric coming down in a flank. Rainer using his minion to scout up around the bush there, making sure that Leoric can't flank in and get a good solid Entomb, which is exactly what he wants to do. A good solid Entomb with a Mosh or a Light Bomb combo is going to really make the day of Arrogant Nephalem a little bit less great. And we do see most of that wall, well, the wall and one tower, almost the second tower going down, so quite a good push here out of Arrogant Nephalem in this early game, getting both forts down. That's going to be occasional pressure from the catapults in each lane, and we see that here now as the catapult getting some value here, pushing it up. And keep in mind too that by pushing that up though, that means that Roll1 Esports has the opportunity to get XP a little bit more safely. Shaman Camp picked up by Roll1 as Chen down here in the bot soaking safely. We see the Impaler Camp going over to Arrogant Nephalem, and interesting to see if they're gonna rotate down as 5, maybe try to contest this bottom camp, but it's a little late for that, so they're just gonna clear these out. And we do have a full 5-on-5. There's the Mosh Pit hitting too. Light Bomb going out as well, but Flailing Swipe knocking it away. The throw onto Velvet into the Entomb. And somehow nobody has died yet. Here comes Storm Earth and Fire, ETC in danger now. Does go down. The pull onto Leoric, probably meant for ETC there. And it looks like Anduin now going to be the next target, and Big Beard as well going down. So quite the start for Roll1 Esports, but that Flailing Swipe coming out from Null Pointer, really disengaging the aggression from Roll1, and then making use of their own Entomb, or the enemy Entomb even, to isolate the hero and get those kills. And we've got the Immortals on the table, ready to go. And Shaman Camp picked up by Arrogant Nephalem here. Level 13's available for the Nephalem. Pop those up on your screen so you can check them out. And we see that, yep, Arrogant Nephalem makes it to halftime first. They had all their people, and of course Roll1 Esports having to deal with the pressure in the lane. And once again, they're going to get right onto this Immortal here. burn that down pretty quickly. ETC power slides in over the Chen and Raynor. Light bomb going out, but it's too late. Nobody getting caught by that light bomb. Chen in the back, in danger, does not have Storm Earth and Fire yet. Uses the stagger, but the drink gets interrupted, and ultimately Chen killing himself there. Kind of interesting to see the Chen pop up in this version with the red and the blue, but Mig gets caught by Leoric and Tomb. There's the big silence. Might be able to get the disengage. Does with the flailing swipe. Leoric, not sure he's done chasing this, though, and so goes in, gets thrown and taunted, but the Leap of Faith will pull him back. Rock Your W coming in to make sure that Leoric is safe. And we do have catapult pressure in the bot lane now as well. Let's not forget that. So that's going to be a tower now. Leoric coming down to get that cleared up so that it doesn't end up costing them a whole fort, or I guess in this case, a keep. Alcohol poisoning, no doubt. No doubt, Kyle. We got the root onto the ETC coming out from Stukov there. And the Immortal just going through this wall. Sylvanas shutting down that keep as well, giving a little bit of benefit there. Light bomb going out is going to hit Garrosh, but Leoric very low at this point. Raynor in the back line also goes down here, but the mosh pit onto both Garrosh and Sylvanas. No real follow-up, as it really just allowed them to clear out the Immortal, but Storm Earth and Fire is out. So we'll see what happens next, as one Panda about to go down, maybe the second one as well, and the third one running away. Keep not quite down yet, and they're gonna have to disengage here as the health bars are just so low. And it's gonna be trade going down as well. Segatai shortly thereafter, as the resets coming online for Li Ming. And I don't know, they committed so much to getting this keep down. It has 746 health. I almost wonder if they shouldn't have just said, you know what, get the keep. If we lose a person, so be it. And you know what, I bet that they even, had they committed that person, probably only lost the one person in that, because the enemy team may have just turned around and gone after them instead of chasing the enemy, the whole of the Nephalem. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe Roll1 Esports says, you know what, we're gonna lose that keep anyway, so just let that person kill themselves, and then we'll chase down these other people, and maybe they'll lose through that 3 then, who knows. But level 16's up. We got, for Arrogant Nephalem already, Roll1 Esports coming online in just a moment. And there we go. Electing to pause on this Shaman camp. They want to make sure that they get the pressure out of the Shaman camp to counter the catapults in the bot lane while this objective is going on. Now it looks like Arrogant Nephalem gonna go ahead and do that thing that I said earlier and come down and knock this keep over. And Garrosh throwing the ETC out, making sure that he can't stop that. We don't have mosh pit, but there's the light bomb. It doesn't land, and Sylvanas using that Will of the Forsaken to get away. Kime gets interrupted on the Storm Earth and Fire, and they're calling for the kill, and they get it. Leoric trying to chase them down. Doesn't have Entomb though, so the best he could do was go for that skeletal swing, maybe get them slowed down. And we've got ETC coming in to provide some zone defense along with Leoric. But it looks like Arrogant Nephalem gonna come down here and stop this Shaman camp. Halftime going over to Roll1 Esports. And we'll see, with Chen coming on in a couple of seconds, we'll see how they look to do this. And it looks like they're just gonna try to get some damage onto the Immortal, as Roll1 Esports is gonna finish out up in the top, and they're gonna get their first Immortal of the game. This should go top lane, I think, right? Yeah. But again, currently all the catapult pressure in favor of Arrogant Nephalem. So even though they've got a nearly full shield Immortal, there's still the potential for bot lane pressure as catapults are going. Right now it's just one. So we'll see how this turns out for them. The longer this goes, it could even potentially turn into a problem for Roll1 Esports. There's the throw from Garrosh. Looked like the throw and Warbringer were a little bit off there. The taunt going in, but the pullback on Leoric keeps him away. ETC mishing with the Mosh. The Flailing Swipe almost throwing Light Bomb into the team there. Kime getting interrupted once again out of Storm, Earth, and Fire. And it's going to be a disengage call from Arrogant Nephalem as the kill onto Chen, really slowing down their potential for kills at this point. And now this Immortal getting some keep damage, may very well even get a keep, but the power slide over Garrosh is going to net the kill, and that's all of their front line. So 3 to 5 at this point, and the catapult pressure has now been equalized in the top lane. But again, we do see now this catapult in the bot lane with a nice healthy wave of minions is going to get some damage here on this bottom keep. Leoric's trying to make his way here. And we'll see how much damage this keep takes before he's able to finish that catapult off. So roughly about 60% of that keeps health. So certainly not a win for Arrogant Nephalem, but a silver lining that if you're going to lose your fort and your keep, you at least get the damage onto that bottom keep as well. And for Roll1 Esports, a pretty solid push, getting the kills onto Garrosh and Stormearth and Kime there on the Chen, really allowing them to get that keep. Because if they don't get that Chen right at the beginning, nope, they don't get that pressure. The Garrosh gets a throw, and now they potentially lose people. And we see a full Hearth coming out from Roll1, getting back to clearing this top lane, because even with the equalized catapult pressure, that Shaman camp would eventually cause issues. And here we see a camp invade call coming out from Arrogant Nephalem, maybe trying to do this in a way that they can't be seen. They do get the throw onto Li Ming and the stun, but the leap of faith pulling her to safety. So we'll see how much of a defense and offense they select with this here. Right now, just looking like Segatai. And it looks like a full Immortal burn from both sides with the exception of Leoric, keeping the pressure going in top lane, now a little bit in their favor. Roll1 Esports getting a little bit there. But halftime going over very slightly to Arrogant Nephalem, and with the defensive posturing of these Immortals, this is where we're going to see some craziness. We do see Arrogant Nephalem pulling back a bit because level 20 is now available for Roll1 Esports. And there's the buried alive Entomb onto the Garrosh, and the light bomb going out, but again, not quite connecting. Looks like there's some communications issues there, as the wave of force knocking Garrosh out as well. And that's the upgraded wave of force, by the way, so quite a bit of distance coming out from that, both the range and knockback distance. Immortal gonna go over to Roll1 Esports this time, even though they were a little bit behind the full defense because of that level 20 advantage, giving Roll1 a lot of value there. But learning from the last round, they don't want to give up this bottom keep for free, so that's gonna give some free Immortal burn over to Arrogant Nephalem. Shield's already gone, so it's now going to be charging into melee range. Level 20 is still not available for the Arrogant Nephalem, and we do see again an Entomb silence there onto Raynor this time, and good night, he is toast. Garrosh getting knocked all over the place with these repulsion wave of force, and the light bomb going out again, missing on the Chen, but Chen very likely to go down. That's a 2-for-0 trade from Roll1 Esports, as they now are going to start getting damage onto this wall, potentially even the keep. Holy cow, what a game. The knockbacks, the stuns, like the communication hasn't been great with the light bombs, it feels like, but that's about the only thing I can say about these late game team fights. They've been absolutely fantastic at interrupting Storm, Earth, and Fire, making sure that Kime can get almost no value out of that. The knockbacks from Null Pointer, though, have been really fantastic as well, to make sure that those combos can't land, but now he gets caught into the Entomb, and so much damage from Li Ming, getting the reset. But look at these health bars. Leoric gonna go down. Li Ming not that far behind. If they can get some damage here, this is a huge problem for Roll1, but we're gonna see the mosh pit onto Garrosh and the kill, and they're gonna make their way onto the core. 4-2 currently, although now with Chen 4-3. Chen may be learning his lesson, might try that Storm Earth and Fire a little bit farther back. Is actually not going to bother trying the Storm Earth and Fire. They're just going to push them off the core. Yeah, and a no mana Li Ming doesn't provide you any benefit when you can't kill anybody with Calamity because you don't have it. That Seeker at level 7, I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Seeker at 7, getting the additional burn onto the Immortal. But hey, by the way, 4 catapults over here, working on a tower. You gotta love that one catapult that's like, hey guys, I know you're over there, but I want to do this thing by myself. So no core damage coming out of those catapults, but certainly enough to pull the pressure back. And now a Shaman camp going in the top lane for Arrogant Nephalem. We're gonna see the Shaman camp picked up for Roll1 Esports, and all 10 members on the board ready to go. And playing defensively here. Now, I'm a little bit, I was going to say, I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't moved in, as Leoric does show in the top lane, clearing up that Shaman camp. So, getting some damage onto this Immortal, trying to burn it to halftime as quickly as possible so that they can have a little bit safer position. And really have to be careful here, because the Immortal stuns, along with the long-range wave of force, could become a problem, and Kime once again in danger here. Pops that stagger. Nobody getting caught by the silence this time, and there's that Storm Earth and Fire. Big taunt onto 2 with the silence, and there's the death metal, but it's not gonna save Anduin as he gets taken out by Chen's Storm Earth and Fire. This time it's Arrogant Nephalem coming in with the 3-0 kills, and we see pings all over the place with the danger marks there. Kime heading back to deal with the bot lane camp and pressure, heading to their core. Yeah, no doubt, Grievin. Li Ming and Vala getting down here. They know that the full team is up on the Immortal and or clearing lane, so trying to get a little bit of damage. They didn't get very far. And Li Ming and Vala can do an absolute truckload of DPS to the Immortal. We did see Vala completing her quest here in the last fight, and Li Ming has Seeker. She has not Fireflies, it's the other one. What's that? Mirror Ball, and oh, by the way, Glass Cannon. So she's doing loads of damage as long as she doesn't get caught, and we did see that earlier where she was brought down very low with just like one set of attacks. So we'll see how this turns out. A full shield Immortal going in 4v4 right now. Li Ming behind is going to come in behind this team now. So I don't like this positioning really at all from Li Ming. This could be a very quick kill, but Immortal going onto the core now. Full health, no shielding. And we do see ETC zoning them out here, getting some core damage, 80%. Is this enough? It doesn't look like they want to commit. The Immortal going down. And kind of surprising me. Oh, the big Entomb coming in onto 2, but the wave of force knocking them out of it, and the unstoppable used on Garrosh to avoid the stun from the light bomb. The death metal going out hits onto 3 though, and it looks like Garrosh is going back to the graveyard. Kime getting that Storm Earth and Fire, and he's coming back into play. Gets the root out onto 2, trying to finish the job onto Leoric, but isn't quite able to do it thanks to that wall. But keep in mind, there's no tower here. Just the 2 in the wall that I completely forgot they added, so I'm guessing Kime maybe also forgot about that. Yeah, good call that Li Ming was probably calling for that, trying to get people to wrap around. Probably, I would guess, a little bit difficult to do from that positioning because they had, pretty decent vision onto the team. again, I'm a little bit surprised though, because they do have the Executioner coming out of Raynor. So, you know, that core is not very far away from that 50% mark. And once they get, you know, Raynor with Inspire onto that core, I think that's pretty well the end of the game. But a 4v4, and Chen not having Storm Earth and Fire, you know, this is the safer play for them. They've got a few options here. They certainly would win in a 5v5 core race. So if, you know, teams tried to backdoor, then that's an option. They've also won the bulk of the Immortals. So right now they're probably feeling confident that they can get the next Immortal and win the game right there. But the next fight either way could end this game, as both teams have no structure damage, or no structures available rather. A little bit of core damage on both sides. And the sound of that Seeker hitting a target, and look at the health on Segatai after taking that. Just absolutely melting Garrosh's health bar. And right now we have catapults going on to the core of Arrogant Nephalem, so something's got to happen here soon. There's the Entomb. Here comes a light bomb. This time the Wave of Force not knocking them out. Chen in the back pops that stagger to stay alive, and here goes the Storm Earth and Fire, gets the cast off, the knockback from Stukov, big stun from I didn't even see where ultimately, but we've got Big Beard in the backline trying to get what he can out of the ETC, I'm sorry, the Garrosh people in the backline, and Chen overall gonna make it out. And now pressure just making its way to the core of Roll1 Esports with this Shaman camp and with the catapults. That is a dangerous place to be for Roll1, as they are down a player as well. And it looks like Leoric heading back, hearthing back now to deal with that along with Li Ming. So this gives the race potential over to Arrogant Nephalem now, as they've got everybody on this. And it's in the offensive position, so they can get it on their side of the map. Unstoppable used by Garrosh. Leoric not quite back into this yet, looking for a big Entomb here. He's not far from being able to get onto this. So they really have to watch for this. It is going to be the silence going out onto Stukov, but he gets thrown away out of the fray. But ETC going to go down, gets the Death Mosh onto 2. Here comes a Light Bomb. Is going to be able to secure the kill onto Sylvanas, but still, these health bars are still all right for most of the red team. Raynor not quite able to get the Anduin, but is going to get the kill onto Leoric. And oh, by the way, did I mention that there's an Immortal in the top lane with half of its shield? And the only burn that Roll1 Esports has is Vala. I think that this Immortal at this point finishes the core even without the enemy team coming in. But they do have Raynor, and as I mentioned earlier, Raynor with that Exterminator, going to get that extra damage. And look at the health of this core going down so fast. 29.5 minutes on BOE. Every fort, every keep, everything dead on this map. Take a look at these stats, shall we? 14 kills to 16. Probably almost a little bit lower than I almost would expect from a level or a 30-minute game. But you know what? These teams did do pretty well. Again, I think, you know what? If Roll1 Esports, if they had 5% better calls on their light bomb combos, then I think they win a lot of those fights. You know, but the light bombs missed probably 80% of the time. They got, you know, a couple of them, but I think that was the big difference, deciding factor in that. So, well, you know what, Velvet, listen, that's not entirely on you. As somebody who receives the light bomb, it's oftentimes just as much on the player, so on the recipient. So again, that's not necessarily for you. That is the rest of your team who should be calling for you to aid them and you know, get those the combos to land. So yeah, not you're only part of the equation there. Taking a look at the stats here. So Vala managing to be the only person in the game that doesn't die, which is important. I mean, Vala is your immortal burn and also, you know, provides a lot of team fight damage. So, you know, good on Waniba to be able to make it through that game without any deaths in 30 minutes, by the way. Go ahead and just pop up some of these stats here, top to bottom here. So a lot more siege damage coming out from Roll1 Esports over the siege damage for Arrogant Nephalem. I'm actually kind of surprised by these numbers. Like, I don't even understand how do you end up with 70,000 more siege damage with similar overall XP and talents and all, not talents, but levels and all that stuff. But just seems crazy to me. A little bit more on the hero damage. I mean, that's, you know, that's not uncommon. And then of course the healing there being pretty similar. All right, well, you know what? I guess that's true. That is true. Thanks. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yep. Yeah, that's true because you have to kill the immortal twice. All right, let's get out of this. Get set up for game number 2 here. That was game 1 going over to Arrogant Nephalem. And then we have game 2, which is going to be on Dragonshire. Let's see, who picked this one? This one was picked by Roll1 Esports. Was the last one picked by Roll1 Esports? Okay. Well, see, now I gotta go look. We're just doing a quick double check on the information that I pulled up earlier that is probably all correct, but I wanted to be, I like being right, I don't like being wrong, so we're gonna make sure. And it says map pick was Roll1 Esports, in fact. Okay, good deal. All right, let's see. So our teams for this round. We're gonna see Garrosh switching teams. And an Uther. All right, I like it. Jaina. Rexar, okay. And Falstad. Oh, I put them in the wrong place. Good job. No, I didn't. Yeah, okay. Oh, we're gonna see a Zool coming from Kime in this game. And all right, that is now all up to date. Now we can get into game number 2 here. So taking a look just at the maps again here, just so that we can showcase those here. So again, game number 2 going to be on Dragonshire. We just saw the Battlefield of Eternity. Currently 1 point in favor of Arrogant Nephalem, and Roll1 Esports looking to bring their A game and roll that natural 20 to succeed here, get a critical success and get 2 points. That's what they're looking for. All right, game is now loading. Hey, Velvet, and well, Big Bird was last night. Velvet, thanks for the follow today. Hope you enjoy the cast and you stop by again in the future. And let's go ahead and get these teams introduced. All right, so for Roll1 Esports, we've got Big Beard on the Rexar, Velvet going to be playing Uther, Zad? Yeah, Zad on Falstad, Rock Your W on Garrosh, Waniba on Jaina. And on the other side, we've got the Arrogant Nephalem. We've got Mig on Raynor. Trabe going to be playing the Kael'thas. Kime, as mentioned earlier, on Zool. Null Pointer on Ana. and Segatai on Johanna. And I have to just throw this out there because I've cast Arrogant Nephalem a couple of times. Segatai, probably my favorite name in all of NGS. I couldn't tell you why. It's just, it rolls well off the tongue. Just like we're going to see Raynor thrown into the enemy team there and taking a bunch of damage, but ultimately will make it out. But what I was going to say is, just like my favorite word, which is wasabi. So Segatai, wasabi, they follow kind of a similar, not tone, but rhythm, I guess. Garrosh going in deep for that, looking for that throw, but ultimately is not going to quite make it. Ektar, welcome, and yeah, you know, I did some work today and thought I would just go ahead and do this. Kime getting caught here in the middle and is going to be the first kill of the game. And you know, I gotta say that after that kill, having the Dragon Knight's wife or whatever she is immediately come out and do the announcement for the shrines, saying, "Oh, you think you are worthy of the Dragon Knight's power?" kind of seems a little BM. Just saying. Cadence, thank you, Ektar. Cadence works wonderful. So I didn't really talk about level 1 talents. We do have the Hammer of the Righteous for, or is it Lightbringer? I never remember which one. Lightbringer is the talent for Uther there. Pretty much everything else is about what you would expect to see from these teams here. And bottom picked up for the Nephalem, top picked up for Roll1 Esports. And getting this Falstad value in the 4-man allows them to potentially occasionally rotate up and get a swift kill on the Zool if they can get that call at the right time. And there goes Indomitable getting the throw onto Trade. Kael'thas in the back, stunned, and is going to be the second kill of the game. Roll1 Esports really looking very strong in this game number 2. But it's only 2.5 minutes in. We have plenty of time to go. And Garrosh taking a lot of little bits of damage. I can only imagine how much damage that is coming out from the dot damage from Null Pointer there with the increasing armor from Garrosh. But ultimately he does end up going down. You know, and yeah, so you mentioned about the healer of Uther. The other aspect is, of course, with Ana on the other side, Uther's healing potential already sometimes difficult to work with. He can get that negated, and those long cooldowns can pose a problem in team fights later in the game, especially. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Uther as a healer or as a tank, personally. I enjoy playing him in either role. His 25 armor, of course, you can't negate that with an Ana grenade. You know, so playing it at the right time, you know, using those abilities at the right time can still provide a huge amount of value. And there's a throw onto Johanna, but she pops her Iron Skin and just walks away. Garrosh going back in there, uses that Bloodthirst to get a little bit of healing. And Raynor, a lot of this game has been able to just sit on the Falstad and poke away. But now Garrosh has the Living Bomb. I'm surprised that didn't spread to Falstad. It must have been spread off a minion or something earlier. Let's take a look here up in the top lane. Rexxar keeping up probably pretty well, it looks like, with the Zool. Let's take a look at these stats here. So Zool at 5,000. Rexxar actually about 20% behind, but ultimately the team's on similar XP levels at this point, with 7 talents available. And the Siege Camp, check that timing out. That Siege Camp just respawned. And we see a full rotation from Arrogant Nephalem coming out to pick this up. And also, we're going to see some bribe action. Working on that Lightning Rod bonus damage. And Blue now has the potential to get the Dragon Knight in the middle. Looks like we've got Falstad and Rexxar there. Garrosh getting really low, and they're going to lose the point in the bottom there. Garrosh might survive this with that armor. and is going to be able to get away as the dot damage not enough to keep up with his increasing armor. So going to get a little bit of wall damage out of the minions here in the top lane. Zool and Rexar just making an agreement to go ahead and pass each other there. And level 9 to 9, very similar again in the XP. The Sleep Dart going out onto Garrosh with the Living Bomb spreading around there. And now it's red team's turn to have the possibility of a Dragon Knight. And right now, even if they don't go for it, just having the threat, always knowing that there's the possibility that the team could get a Dragon Knight, causes you to have to pay extra attention. And this Living Bomb gonna get some value. They're gonna be able to not push in just yet. I was waiting for this minion wave here. Now they're gonna push in with a 4v3, and Uther fairly low on mana at this point. That's only 1 or 2 additional spells that he can cast at this point, other than his stun, which of course he has about half, a little bit more than half done. And it looks like we're going to see the shrines switching sides. Well, maybe. Johanna coming in here. Level 10's available for both teams. Again, they're very equal in their XP, as we see the Gust coming out from Falstad for the disengage. But Rexar coming down, so this is going to be a 5 versus 4 fight down here if they elect to take it. But instead, they're gonna come up and kill the Zool, aren't they? That's what they're looking for. Oh, he just missed him. Oh, oh no, I missed it. I'm sorry, Velvet. Sorry I missed your death. I thought for sure that this was a kill on Zool. I wanted to make sure I caught that. In fact, I'm sure that you guys probably thought that was a kill on Zool as well. Just a moment to the left. Fair enough. All right, and 2/3 of this bottom fort down. And call in the pings for the Bruiser camp, and you know what, that's going to provide them some value. It's going to allow them to potentially keep the pressure up in that top lane, and maybe they can get some time on this bottom shrine. And right now we've got both of the siege camps available. Falstad used his bribe up top, so it's not available for this bot lane, and we're gonna see Johanna coming in looking to invade this. So this is the hill for them to die on, as Zool coming down, but the Falstad Gust, here comes Unstoppable, Iron Skin popped, and Ring of Frost coming out does manage to land onto a couple there. The big taunt onto 3, did not hit Segatai because of the Iron Skin, but it's going to be Garrosh getting melted. And here's the siege camp going over to Arrogant Nephalem, but Misha in the backline was thinking maybe she could get onto that Johanna and take her out, as she was very low, but Iron Skin was back up thanks to that level 1 talent for Johanna. And now with the kill onto Garrosh, we may yet see Zool's gonna come up here and clean this up first. So we're not gonna see the Dragon Knight getting picked up by Arrogant Nephalem just yet, but they will get the first fort of the game. And in addition to that, they're going to head down and get the bottom camp, which is going to provide additional pressure. But they don't have any globals, so they can't rotate up and easily help Zool. So Zool's just going to keep double soaking. And sitting at level 13s now for both both teams. Just a slight advantage over to Arrogant Nephalem right now. And they're going to push in with this Bruiser camp. They've got all 4 here. Garrosh is going to get pulled in by that Condemn. Elects not to throw the Johanna, although walks back in to the Kael'thas there. And there's the throw onto Johanna. Not quite able to get her over the wall, which I think is what he was going for. Did get the big stun onto 3 with that Warbringer. And here comes the Gust along with the Ring of Frost. So we've got a couple of roots there. Jaina very low, though, has to back away. The first kill going to be onto Kael'thas, and we might get a second kill onto Segatai, but he pops that Iron Skin, able to walk away. And Zool picking up the Dragon Knight, as Raynor getting the kill onto Uther in the back here, ultimately sacrificing his life to get that kill. Yeah, indeed, Nara. It was I don't want to say questionable. I don't think it was too questionable, but yeah, it was maybe just a little bit off of what could have been the best positioning. But it you know, it got them a couple of kills. And if that was a wind tunnel, then that turns into like a team wipe, I think, or 3 or 4 kills for sure instead of 1 or 2. So not a lot of value from the Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight getting brought down pretty quickly here. And with this wave, they're going to try to get a little bit more damage onto this fort. The barrel roll causing the Dragon Knight to stutter step a bit there. And Phoenix getting popped, trying to just get as much damage on this as they can. They do have all 5 members of Arrogant Nephalem here. Here comes another potential gust coming out from Falstad. Does get the gust, but again, not quite lined up for where he wanted it to go. Ring of Frost only hitting Zool, but it's gonna just send him right out of this game. Raynor does get brought down a bit thanks to that Uther, but the Roll1 Esports a little bit split. And Falstad chasing down Ana up top, but doesn't have enough mana to really keep into that. So just the 1 kill out of that initiation. And I think that if Falstad had just 10 degrees counterclockwise there, I think that turns into, you know, 2 or 3 kills there. I like that. They neatly... Oh, nearly. Oh, I thought that said neatly bit off more than they can chew. Oh, man. I like my version better. But both are... Yours is more accurate. Level 16's here, coming up for Roll1. Here we go. And this time they've got the talent advantage for either the first time in the game, I think, if not certainly the first time they've had it for any length of time. But the taunt going in onto Johanna behind the wall there. And here comes the rest of the team. Again, Zool coming down as well. Blessed Shield used, trying to stay on the Uther, but the disengage gust is going to keep Uther alive. Good play on both of them. Segatai trying to set up the play. Falstad saying, nah. And now we're going to see this rotation up onto the Bruiser camp as Arrogant Nephalem clearing out the bot lane. Again, making use of this catapult pressure that they have, killing the bottom fort. It's not up very often. It's every second or third wave, but it's better than 0. And that's what they're trying to get set up in this mid lane as well. Nano Boost going out onto Kael'thas. Divine Shield onto the Garrosh, keeping him alive. And big root there coming from Jaina, using Ice Block to stay alive, as Uther's going to be the first one to go down. And again, this is a 5 versus 4, so a little bit aggressive without the fort. Garrosh getting rooted, possibly going to go down here. Gets the throw onto Johanna, though, over this wall, so this gives them the opportunity to get this kill. So, good on them. I mean, if you're going to die, getting a free kill is going to provide the offset value that you need. And on top of that, with this camp in the top lane, they actually netted a fort. So I'd say that overall that was a win for Roll1. Just because they were going to lose that fort in the mid lane either way. Zool heading up to the top to make sure that Roll1 can't get the Dragon Knight easily, at least. And it looks like they're going to head down, grab this camp. I was going to say, I think he's got some bribe stacks. Kind of interested that they would use the bribe on the mage. It's got the lowest health. But they're both doing some decent spell damage, so that's fine. All right, this time it is not a full 5-man against a 4-man. This time it's a 3 versus 4. Zool rotating down and Johanna rather coming to join this fight. So we're gonna have a full 5 versus 5 here, which has been a little bit scarce in this game so far. Segatai deep into the back there, rock your W, having to back away, has the fire from Kael'thas. Blessed Shield did go out. There's the Divine Shield getting a 4-man man taunt with the Ring of Frost. 3 kills. And there's the gust of wind gonna be able to secure that 4th kill onto Zool. And suddenly, everything is lining up aces for Roll1 Esports. And that's the exact combo that they've been looking for. That taunt into the Ring of Frost, giving them a nice, easy, clear target. And it worked out gloriously. Yeah, I figured, Zad, the spell armor thing. I didn't hate it. No, I figured that was the reasoning for the spell power. It makes sense with the Jaina and Falstad. All right, here we go. Roll1 coming in onto the front wall of this bottom keep. They equalized out with the kill on the fort and level 20s as well. We do have that wind tunnel, so keep... Okay. Pushing them back, helping to make sure that they can secure this this keep. I was gonna say keep your eye on that Falstad, because as aggressive as Falstad has been, Falstad could find a nice, easy spot where they can use that wind tunnel to push them into a corner, and then they just die. So, but that was not the time. That was just to secure the keep and get whatever value they can out of this. They do still have level 20s up over Arrogant Nephalem. And taking a look at these, so we do have the additional throw for Garrosh. We've got the wind tunnel, as I mentioned. Redemption for Uther. I don't even know the upgraded ring. What is that called? Cold Snap. Fair enough. Okay. And then the kill command for the boars, giving the roots. So a lot of root potential out of this team. And they're looking to come in and invade on this camp. They're going to be too late to invade the camp, but they may look to take a fight anyway. But not the time. Again, not under this 20 spell armor from the Bruiser camp. They do have all their ultimates, though. And this is going to give the opportunity for Arrogant Nephalem to get their level 20s. Maybe. I was going to say, Segatai looking a little bit aggressive there, taunting the Garrosh, trying to convince him to throw him. And now we've got the level 20s for Arrogant Nephalem. So the healing reduction coming out from Zool. So a second way for them to reduce healing. Flamethrower for Kael'thas. And I believe that was the Blessed Shield there. Yes, it was. Root onto Uther is going to be able to make it out. Ring manages to hit 2. Raynor's the first kill on this. And here comes that wind tunnel. It's only going to hit Zool as the Iron Skin was popped for Johanna. So Zool is going to go down, but that gives them 2 for nothing. Sorry, what I meant to say was 2 for 1 as Jaina get caught by that living bomb. And it's Baron getting all over again. And Garrosh has not a lot of health. And Falstad flying right on in. But they've got to deal with this bot lane pressure as there is a siege camp pushing here, and catapults coming behind now. So this has got to be cleared before the shrines are active. Because this Dragon Knight ultimately could win the game for either team. But with a 4 versus 3 at this point, including a global, although he did just use his flight not too long ago. Right now, this is looking very strong for Roll1 Esports to be able to pick this up and march on to the core, because now they've got, again, a siege camp going in that bot lane. Zoom out here, take a look at what's about to happen. And there's a stun onto the Johanna. The throw, popping Iron Skin to get away. Misha chasing her down, and Nano Boost going out onto Kael'thas, but it's going to be Garrosh securing the Dragon Knight. Misha going down, however. And Segatai and Trey both very low, having to back away as living bombs are spreading on the side of Roll1. And with this siege camp clearing the lane, now getting some damage with that catapult onto the core, this is a great place to be if you're Roll1 Esports now, looking to get onto this this keep, or I'm sorry, this core with the Dragonite, and they've got their tank in there, so they've got the full damage potential out of the Falstad and Jaina onto the core. We do have Mighty Gust available. We've got the Warlord's Challenge as well. Well, Warlord's Challenge is in the thing. So Mighty Gust used to push them back and reset a little bit on the fight here. And now the Dragonite making its way, getting the damage onto the core. 60%, and they've got to get this Dragonite dead because it's just melting the core. How much is the damage of that Dragonite? Oh, dang, I missed it. But ultimately, it's going to be Roll1 Esports taking game number 2. Oh, it's a fishy! Yeah, Nara, see, it is kind of an interesting thought experiment, right? I mean, because Falstad does have pretty decent auto attack damage as well, right? So, all right, so game number 2 going over to Roll1 Esports. Taking a look at the kills here, 12-7 in kills. No deaths on behalf of Zad. And null pointer as well, so again, value. Technically Rexar as well, just sacrificing his bear, unfortunate. But take a look at it. Once again, these siege numbers. And I don't think Rexar was ever in the dragon, so that's just pure, you know, minions and structures and all that. Same thing with Zul here, quite a bit of damage there. But the hero damage pretty decidedly going over to Kael'thas and Raynor, but they just weren't quite able to make that those kills translate in the later game. Ana as well, a little bit higher than the Uther, but you know what? Uther keeping up that close is a big win for Uther, especially with the healing reduction that comes out from the enemy team. And oh, by the way, Uther, who does not heal as much as other healers do. And ultimately there, Rexar, you know, Rexar was behind by 20% early in the game, but ultimately pulling ahead on the XP, I think largely because Zul was going back to help with team fights. Yeah, absolutely, Nara. Yeah, when you account for the 25 armor, you know, that Uther value goes up dramatically. All right, so game number 3 is going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We've got 1-1 between these two teams here. And what I do know is that one of these teams will win. Technically, I know who does win because I pulled up the replays. So, you know, it shows when you pick them up. But that's okay. So let's see. This was, again, selected by Roll1 Esports. And give me a second while I load the teams into this. Okay, yep. And oh, goody. I'm already seeing heroes that I'm looking forward to enjoying the cast of here. All right, teams are loaded. I imagine that you guys are ready. Again, this was the map pick of Roll1 Esports, so they got all of the map picks today. Game 3 hype indeed. I'm the guy that's not in game. Welcome. What else do we have on over here? I'm the bird. Clear faster. All right. A Fishy and E-Day and Zad and Zad. That followed me twice. Thanks for the follows. Appreciate it, guys and gals. And let's get into game number 3 here. Tomb of the Spider Queen. So we're going to see a heavier focus on rotation and wave clear. So we see that in the Jaina. We see that in the Lunara and Orphea. You know what? Velvet's back on Anduin. Velvet, I'm calling you out right now. I know that you guys leveled up your game, and you're gonna have those solid light bombs coming out. I can feel it. But to be fair, on the other side, we do have an Ana, so we'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead and get the introductions going for our teams here. On the left, winning the last game, we've got Roll1 Esports. We've got Big Beard on Dahaka, Rock Your W on ETC, Zad gonna be playing Orphea, Velvet on Anduin, and Waniba on Lunara. And for the Arrogant Nephalem, Trabe gonna be on Jaina, Mig on Raynor, Kime back on the Chen, Segatai on Anubrak, and Null Pointer on Ana. All right, so Talon's checking them out here. Pretty much okay. By the way, Bug barely able to make it out with that burrow charge and using that shield as soon as he gets up, keeping Segatai from being the instant first blood of the game in the first 16 seconds or so. And the only one I'm not sure of is, okay, it is tissue regeneration, so fair enough. So basically everything else what you would expect to see out of these teams for these level 1 talents. A little bit of a skirmish between the 4v4. We've got Chen v Dahaka in the bot lane. Not entirely sure who wins that, actually. Right now, anyways, it's Chen, but we'll see how it goes. Don't judge me. No worries. Segatai going to be the first kill of this game. Managed to stall out that death for a good 30 seconds, so fair enough. It happens. Dahaka does feel a little bit odd for Tomb. It's a very small map, and so the rotations aren't necessarily as valuable. Like the global potential isn't necessarily as valuable, but there are a lot of steam vents here. So there you go. The kill onto the Ana. I'm glad that I flipped up there to make sure that I caught that for you guys. Fair enough, Nara. And you know what? The solo lane is the lane that I have limited knowledge of. So, you know, as far as like who wins which character, so. The W quest procs. Wait. The W quest? Do you take Chomp quest? Oh my. Oh, hashtag spoilers. Oh my goodness. Big Beard getting the pull onto Chen here. We do have Zad in the bottom. Is going to go ahead and get working on the siege camp. And 30 to 35 on the gem count. Level 4's online now for Roll1 Esports. And here come the full 5-man, but the tongue onto Ana. Null Pointer gonna go down thanks to that tower. Big assist from the environment damage there. And it looks like Segatai going to be the second kill there. The pull onto Chen. He does pop his stagger, hops over Big Beard, and Kime going to go back, drink away that stagger damage. Yeah, Chomp Quest, like, if you're playing against the right team for it, and you have the right team for it, Chomp Quest can be absolutely disgusting. And yes, I remember taking that at BlizzCon and last year when she was first announced, and it was a lot of fun. Absolutely, especially when you could get the double chomp before they nerfed that. All right. Nothing too exciting going on here. No mid lane camps. The siege camp ultimately going to go down here shortly from Chen and all the dot damage from Ana. But Big Beard making their way down. We do have 48 gems turned in already for Roll1 Esports. The burrow charge in, but the leap of faith pulling Orphea to victory. Victory. To safety. Another two-syllable... I can't say words. Never mind. I give up. Terrible caster. NA. Rank 1. Rank 1? See, now I'm screwing it up. I can't even get my NA casting comments to be correct. But the first web weaver's coming over for Roll1 Esports. And we see most of them here in the mid lane. There's already a pretty significant push up in the top, so the Spider's going to be delayed, at least in this top lane, but it's not going to be too much. And we see Arrogant Nephalem coming down, clearing the mid lane first. Level 7's available for Roll1. And Raynor versus Lunara, already popping that adrenaline rush, taking tons of damage. And we do see... Do we see Splinter's Spear? We do, okay. Power slide in onto Anubrak, having to use the burrow charge to get away, but dove right into the spider wave. Segatai not having a great time of it this game. In the bot lane, we've already got the wall down. Chen versus Dahaka, and it looks like they're at least going to get that well, maybe even a little bit more. But back in the top, the power slide and root onto Trabe, but it's going to be ETC going deep for that kill, but not able to get it. Ana having to babysit Trabe to make sure that Jaina doesn't die to the Lunara poison, as Crippling Spores was used there to keep that dot damage going. Impale onto the Orphea once again, but Zad pulled to safety, I got the right word this time, by Velvet. And if Velvet plays those light bombs like they've been playing the Leap of Faith, this is going to be a scary game for Arrogant Nephalem, as they're already down 1 full level. Power slide in onto Jaina, but no real follow-up there to help with it yet. And here we go. Charging in, the power slide in, but there's no burrow charge out for Anubrak this time. Getting knocked back, barely staying alive thanks to Ana, but ETC gonna be the kill. As Trabe getting that value. A little bit deep. This is a brutal game for the tanks this time. Chastise lands onto Anubrak here, and Kime trying to chase down Waniba. Tongue onto the Anubrak Beetle again, followed up by the Chastise, and this time the burrow charge is going to be available and get out, as Arrogant Nephalem are going to go ahead and get their web weavers now. Bottom lane was secured, by the way, by Dahaka with that last web weaver, so this is a... Man, I don't know, this is a difficult choice to make sometimes, because you're down level 10s, or about to be, so you have to choose, do you... Oh my goodness, and there goes Raynor. Wow. But anyways, the choice that I was talking about was, do you turn in so that you can stall out the aggression from a level 10, or do you wait until you have your own level 10s so that you can actually have an equal fight? Tough call. It seems like most often it's the first one, but I feel like the second one's better. I don't know, what do you guys think? And I'm not saying that either team did anything right or wrong in that. I'm just expressing my opinion. But level 10s here for Roll1 Esports. We do have that Mosh Pit Light Bomb combo again. We've also got the Lunara Leaping Strike, Isolation, and Crushing Jaws from Orphea. And let's take a look. Oh, there's those stacks from Orphea. 11 stacks. We're not going to give you any crap about that. Sad, because... that's a fun talent. Level 10's now online for Arrogant Nephalem. When we see that Storm, Earth, and Fire again, the Nano Boost, Ring of Frost, Rainer's Raider, and Cocoon. Looking to make this a, I guess, a 7 versus 4 fight with the Storm, Earth, and Fire, maybe? So close to so much bonus. There's the Cocoon in, the Burrow Charge coming in as well. Nano Boost going out, but the dot onto the Cocoon is going to set that up to come out quickly. Raynor being the only person caught in the Crushing Jaws, but not enough follow-up to get the kill. Mosh Pit used, but penetrating round, knocking the Mosh Pit away, so very limited value out of that as well. A lot of ults used, limited value from both sides ultimately. But we do have a few left. We do still have that Light Bomb. Storm, Earth, and Fire is still on the table. Nobody dying. And just, you know, all around good play from each team to kind of counter those ultimates that were being used. 39 to 25 on the gem count for the second web weaver. Dahaka in a bit of trouble here, surrounded by red health bars, is going to go ahead and broach the Blizzard. And the Light Bomb going out, put to sleep by Ana, and the Burrow Charge away. But that gives Roll1 Esports the opportunity to get another turn in, and they're going to be looking for this top fort when the spiders come in. Right now they can get to work on the mid lane because nobody's here. And here they come. So they are not going to go for the top lane. Instead, they are going to continue on to the mid lane because they can get top lane later. It's still fairly low, so that's an easier kill for them. Arrogant Nephalem now having to back up a bit here to defend this. Power slide in onto Raynor, knocking him back. Does get the leaping strike kill. And Cocoon going out onto Orphea. ETC taking all of the blizzard damage. Gets pulled back as Chen tries to dive him, but the crushing jaws taking Chen out of the equation. Interrupting the brew. And I think losing a bunch of gems for them in the process. Actually, I think Nubrak may have picked them up. Never mind. And that's going to net them 2 forts as well as at least this tower down here. Maybe even the second tower. Also the wall and towers in the mid lane. So a lot of pressure here from Roll1 Esports. Looking very strong in this game. And with the advantage now of level 13, fully 2 levels ahead. They don't have enough for a turn-in yet. Arrogant Nephalem does. Most of it is on... In fact, the only way they can turn in right now, I think, is with Anubrak. But we're going to see the invade. Dahaka coming in. And 5 versus 5 at this point could be a really solid game as Raynor getting taken out. Isolation. And there's the mosh pit. Here comes the light bomb. That's the connection I was looking for. And there go 30-ish. A little bit more than 30 gems. In fact, it's 42 gems that they lost with that team fight there. And there's your Dahaka value, burrowing in, getting the isolation onto the Raynor and securing that kill. And this is going to net them a bottom keep as well as probably this mid keep with the Bruiser camp. As both teams now fully on the board. Still no level 13s for Arrogant Nephalem as Null Pointer gonna get taken out thanks to that Lunara Leaping Strike. Here comes the Storm Earth and Fire. Crushing Jaws used on not a lot of anything. I guess a zoning Crushing Jaws. But there's the root onto 2. Lunara could be in danger here, but they're not focusing Lunara. They're focusing Dahaka, and Dahaka is going to be the one go down. Kime still in the Panda Pals, coming out of it now, and the dive in onto Zad. This could be the potential of a kill if they... But they might have Leap of Faith again. There's the Light Bomb securing onto Anubrak, and Kime and Trabe have to back away. Segatai not quite going to be able to do it as Waniba chasing down now, looking for potentially another kill. Is going to get the spread damage onto Trabe, using that Crippling Spore, slowing him down, but unable to keep him alive. Raynor, though, also taking damage, and now 4v4 here as they are starting to get some damage onto the core. Not quite able to convince themselves that they want to stick with it, though. 16 online for Roll1 Esports. They are in a fantastic place right now. They're turning in. They have enough for another Web Weaver. 2 lanes completely pushed in and going straight to core. Big Beard trying to pull the boss and force the issue. But it looks like maybe Big Beard a little bit ahead of his team. But Velvet here popping that light bomb is going to get the shield from the stun onto Chen. Not quite able to get 2, so enough to get out of the danger there. And this is a fight that Arrogant Nephalem pretty much has to take, because losing this objective with level 16 is not really a good option for them. Especially with catapults now on the core. We see the dive onto the Dahaka. There's a big mosh onto all of the front line, but the knockback taking him out of it. Leap of Faith pulling out, and here comes Storm Earth and Fire trying to finish the kill onto ETC. Instead, they get the kill onto Dahaka. Jaina very low, though, but doesn't have anybody chasing her. Mig and Kime, though, do, and Mig's going to be the first kill. Kime, only having that one panda left, had to leave, because, again, if all 3 of them die, so does the panda. So now a 3 versus 4 onto the core here, looking like. They do have some catapults nearby, so they can get the value of these catapults. And here come the web weavers as Orphea staying behind to get that turn in. Raynor will be up, so they do have the potential to burn fairly quickly. No level 20s yet. Still a little ways away from that. But these lanes are pushed up so very far that these web weavers are coming right into it, and that's a lot of damage. Oh, and by the way, Dahaka. There's that Dahaka value once again, right into this fight. No 16s available for Arrogant Nephalem either. Webweaver 1 has made it. Webweaver 2 is still a little ways away. And we do see Roll1 kind of pulling back a little bit, allowing that free clear onto the Webweaver. Trying to get some poke in, does get some damage onto the Anubarak. Big Beard here, staying onto Chen, does get the Light Bomb as well, and secures that kill onto Chen. Stormwrath and Fire are just too far away. Segatai trying to get out now, as he's got all kinds of Lunara damage. And here's that Webweaver from earlier, Waniba onto the core, spreading the damage to Anubarak. Big Beard chasing down the Jaina, isn't quite able to secure that. And we see what looks like going to be game number 3 going over to Roll1 Esports in a moment. And there's the Mosh. Just an exclamation mark on this win, as they are chasing down Trey, but with 87 health, Trey is going to make it out of there. So 17 kills to 4. That game, much more in favor in Roll1. Very much in control throughout that game. They hit their combos. They got that Mosh Light Bomb combo that they were looking for, and what a kill that was. Pretty similar stats in the siege department. Hero damage pretty similar as well. Almost identical on the healing, which is a little bit surprising. And then tanking and XP. Talents here for you. Again, no level 20s. We only got up to 16s and 13s for either team. Just a little bit away from getting that 16, but those kills really allowed them to get the pressure throughout this game. And you know what, Zad? Even with just 56 stacks, you guys still managed to pull out the victory and really keep them on their toes. So congratulations to Roll1 Esports on your victory. And there we go. We're all done. That's 3 games. What else is there in chat here? Probably would have gone for boss turn in. Yeah, I agree. Yep, there was a good plan for that, or good point for that. Planned that core lead perfect. Didn't we? Let's take a look at that. Where's that? Oh yeah, certainly did. Can't really see it very well, but it's right there on top. What else we got? It's more than 50. It's more than 55 stacks. That's not what the stats show. Did I say 55? Okay, 56. Sorry, my bad. Numbers are hard. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure casting for you this afternoon. I hope that I made your workday a little bit less boring, and appreciate the follows here today. Making fun of yourself. All good. It's all good. Glad that you could, secure the victory so that you could feel better about having that. We're going to go ahead and take off for today. That's going to be it for me, but what is today? Wednesday? So if you happen to be looking for some more HOTS tomorrow night, I'll be casting twice. I don't remember who all I'm casting, but they're going to be happening. You'll be able to check that in the Hype channel in NGS, or just hit the follow button and you'll get the notice when I pull them up. I am going to have Psychic as my co-caster for the first game, which I believe starts at 9. And I think Butte Holiday is going to show up for game number 2, which is at 10:30. You all have a great night, and we'll see you again soon. Oh, wait. I can't do that. I gotta put the point up. Hold up, guys. We're not done yet. We are not done yet. And now we're done. Gotta show off that 2-1. Anyways, you all have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.